We're on our way out to New Jersey this morning to meet with one of the legendary fighters from New Jersey. This is a man that was responsible for putting, one of the fighters responsible for putting the KA system on the map. And he was also very instrumental in the development of Grandmaster Earle Thompson and Grandmaster Kevin Thompson Sr. Now, when you think of the KA system as an outsider, such as myself, I mean, there's five names that come to mind. Kareem Abdullah, Earle Thompson, Kevin Thompson Sr., Milo Thompson, and Happy Crump. So, let's step inside, and you'll see what we've got in store for you today, and who we've got in store for you. Greetings, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of On Point Voices. You know what we do here, bringing you the most important voices in the country, and today is no exception. We have a special guest that we're going to be talking to in a minute with a special awards presentation, and I have with me today, they're going to introduce themselves from right to left.
Earle Thompson.
Kevin Thompson Jr.
Garland.
Okay, so we're here with one of the legends of the martial arts world today, ladies and gentlemen, presenting Milo Thompson. So Milo, you guys had a reputation coming from Jersey, coming into New York, talking loud, backing it up, and busting heads. Is that reputation, was it well deserved, or was this all just hype?
No, it was real.
How old were you when you started training in martial arts, and how old were you when you actually made black belt?
You had to be, because you had just came out the Air Force. Remember me and you got into it because you wanted my room back. You wanted your room back. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I was going to Howard Schaefer School at the time. And you was a boxing champion in the Air Force. Yeah. And you couldn't beat me at that one time we got into it because of my kicks. Too big. Yeah, yeah. And you had to be, because I at that time was about 19, maybe 20. So you had to be about 28 years old, 26 years old. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he was about 26 years old.
Wow, when he started, interesting.
26, 27, yeah, when he started.
Okay, cool. Can you tell us a little bit about what the training was like back in the day?
It's real.
About how long were the lessons?
Class could last an hour and a half, 2 hours, depending on what it was. Fight night was longer because everybody lined up and you had to fight everybody. So you'd be in there a lot longer than a couple hours. But, fight, and like he says, it was for real. We didn't have the jewelry equipment. There was no hand pads or feet pads. You'd tape yourself up with some ace bandages, and everybody would get to work.
Okay, I'm going to hit you with a trick question now. When you were coming up, working your way through the ranks of the system, which were your two favorite katas?
What?
See, I warned you, this is going to be a trick question.
It is a trick question, and I'll let him answer.
I said, what was your favorite kata in this coming up through the ranks?
Fighting my little brother. Yeah, Kevin was really the only one in the school that really did kata. And Kevin at that time only knew two katas, but I'll tell you a story about that a little later. But it was about fighting. It was about showing that you can enforce what we learned on another individual. And that seemed to be the primary concern that we were dealing with. We were involved in a new system that Kareem Abdullah created. And I think we had to prove to the world that it was real. And we went up against all the other systems. And for the most part, we came out on top.
So back then when you were fighting in tournaments, there was no weight categories, the way they started introducing, the weight categories in like the late 80s and early 90s or whatever.
No, there was. They broke it out, I think, into heavyweight, middleweight, lightweight, and I think they had a light heavyweight. They were basically 4 weight categories on the major tournaments. On the regular tournaments, they broke it down to heavyweight and lightweights in the beginning. I remember there were some tournaments where they would just line everybody up to size, and then you went through the eliminations that way. But in the beginning, they lined you up based on your size, and you worked everything down. But for the most part, it was lightweight and heavyweight.
Did you guys ever compete at Fred Hamilton's Battle of the Zodiac?
Yes.
In Hamilton?
Yeah, remember Fred Hamilton tournament?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
So that one, it was divided by astrological sign. So it didn't matter what weight you were. If you were a Taurus, you're going against the other Tauruses.
Yeah.
The reason I was asking about the weight thing, because for you to fight Little John, I mean, Little John was a heavyweight.
But that was a set fight he fought.
Oh, that was a set fight?
Yeah,
Oh,
that was a set fight, and then I fought him in the Grand Championship title at Madison Square Garden, but Milo fought him in a set fight.
You fought him at Henry Cho's?
No, this was at Sunnyside Garden. I don't think Henry Cho was at Madison Square Garden.
Okay.
This is I forget who promoted that one at Sunnyside Garden, but it was a big tournament. I forget which one promoted it. But at that particular point, it was basically if you were a heavyweight, you fought in the heavyweight division, if you were lightweight, you fought in the lightweight division, and then you fought as
Right.
you fought the Grand Championship title.
So I'm going to throw a couple of names at you. Tell me if you ever fought these guys and, how you did against them. Michael Look Up Sledge.
Who?
Michael
Look
Look Up
I
Sledge.
think Milo fought Look Up.
Look up.
Yeah, I think you fought Look Up.
Errol Bennett.
Oh, I fought Earle Bennett.
Right.
Yeah, I fought Earle Bennett, and I think I forget, was it the bronze title? But I fought Earle Bennett. I was lucky to beat him.
How about Speedy Wilson?
Speedy Wilson.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah, he was a lightweight. Milo fought him.
Okay. And how'd you do against him?
I think he beat Speedy Wilson.
I beat him. I whooped him bad.
What was it that attracted you to martial arts in the first place? Because you started before, the movies and that a lot of us, got attracted by. So what was it that attracted you back then?
My mother whooped my ass.
Self-defense against your parents, huh?
No, my mother was no joke. I mean, if you did something wrong, she'd come to you. And she wouldn't allow us to back down to anybody out there. And Milo was, when he first got in martial arts, a smaller guy. In high school, I think he was like 140, 150 pounds, He didn't grow until he went in the Air Force. So, but my mother always enforced the fact that if somebody messed with you, you got to fight back. So that's what it is. Yeah. That's right.
Who was the biggest trash talker in the dojo when you guys went out to compete? And I say trash talking, but I recognize that it was psychological warfare.
John Davis.
Oh, he used to talk a lot of junk?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, wow.
I thought Little John probably was one of the, number one, he was one of the greatest fighters out there. But number two, he exhibited that code of Bushido. He might talk a little trash to you, he might fight you, but when the fight was over, he always embraced you. I think he was one of the few guys that, and we had a lot of friends over there, not many, but he was one of the people that I truly thought genuinely would want to help. Where when we went over there, it's like we had a target on our back. And it was like the gunslinger days, where you went over there, you saw somebody, you drew down and you fought. And yeah, and but Little John Davis, man, he was a tough competitor, one of the toughest fighters, but he had a big heart, and you could sit down, you could talk to him. He was one of the few guys that I could really talk to.
What I was getting at is that you guys had a reputation, you know, for being big trash talkers. So who took the cake? Who took top honors with that from your school?
I think it was more of our teacher that did most of the trash talking, and we sort of backed it up. I know I wasn't a big trash talker. I mean, Milo, you know, once in a while. Edward probably a little bit more than us.
It's Edward.
Yeah, Edward Thompson. Jerry wasn't a big trash talker, you know. When we got there, we were about business.
What about little bro?
Kevin?
He was known to talk a good game.
But if you look at most of his fights, especially the big fights, he didn't do a lot of trash talking. You know, he let his hands and his feet do the talking. You know. Yeah. I remember you mentioned the thing about kata. Kevin knew 2 katas, and I remember one tournament in New York. He as a junior, you know, in the grand championships, was competing against the adults who won their divisions in the black belt division, and he did the first kata, and I Johnny Silver, or I forget the guy's name that he competed against.
John Longstreet?
No, he was from New York. In fact, we have a magazine article that indicated it with him with the trophy and everything. But what happened was he did the first kata. They tied. They did the second kata. They tied. They had to do a third kata. He only knew 2 katas. But he was blessed with a certain amount of martial arts acumen that, you know, like he wind up combining 2 of those katas together to make a third kata, and he wind up winning the grand championship. And I thought that was amazing, you know, especially since kata wasn't pushed in our system at that time. Now later on, Kareem did create other katas, but at that time there was only 2.
What was your black belt promotion like?
What was it like?
Yeah.
Everybody fought.
You had to exhibit a certain amount of knowledge. You had to do push-ups, sit-ups, calisthenics, but the main emphasis was on fighting. You know, and you fought everybody in the promotion. Yes, you fought everybody.
When you're saying everybody, so how many different fighters are we talking about?
Well, you fought all of the green belts, brown belts, black belts, and all the adults.
So we're talking well into the double digits.
Yes, if they were there at that promotion. Everybody at that promotion that could fight, you fought. I mean, if they were, I mean, you wouldn't fight a white belt who just came. But most of the green belts, brown belts, and black belts, we fought each other.
Interesting. Anybody else want to say anything? Have any questions?
What are some of your best karate memories that you think about now as you're looking back?
I remember the fight with Dillman from Pennsylvania. Remember him?
Mm-hmm.
George Dillman?
Yeah, George Dillman.
He was competing?
At that time. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Now, Milo was actually a brown belt at the time. A white belt, I'm sorry, at the time. But he fought in the black belt division. And I remember a tournament before that, because I was a brown belt fighting brown belt. Milo was a brown belt at the time, a white belt fighting black belt. And I remember going into the bathroom and I looked up and I heard these 2 gentlemen talking. And one guy said, well, they won't let me fight today. And the guy said, why? And he says, because they think I'm too dangerous. My rank is too high. They feel I may hurt or kill somebody. And being a brown belt, I was impressed, you know. And I looked up, and you know, it stuck in my mind, man. This guy was too dangerous that they wouldn't even allow him to fight in a karate tournament. So, make a long story short, a couple months go by, we go to another tournament. They called out my brother Milo to fight. He goes up into the ring. And the guy that calls out is George Dillman. And I remember thinking about the fact that this guy was so dangerous that he couldn't fight in a karate tournament. And I remember saying a prayer and asking God to protect my brother, you know, because I didn't want him to die, you know. And I tell you, Milo started bouncing.
Bang, bang.
That's right. Milo grabbed him in his collar, and Milo hit him with the up down punch. I remember he hit him on the top of the head, bang, drugged him around, punched him again, bang, drugged him around. And I'm saying to myself, whoa, you know. I was amazed. But Milo fought real well that day. The best fight that I think I ever saw him fight was in Jersey City, and they had, I can't remember the Chinese guy's name, but he was being touted as the next Bruce Lee. But Milo at that time, I mean, he always had good legs. Milo at 5'10" could jump up and dunk a basketball backwards.
Bang, bang.
Wow.
There I go.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I tell you, man, his speed and his agility, and this guy couldn't touch him, you know. And he wound up beating him, winning the lightweight division. I won the heavyweight division, and then Milo won the grand championship title.
You bowed out?
Yes, I wasn't fighting Milo.
Did you guys work out a lot outside the dojo? You know, sparring at home and things like that?
No.
Breaking up your mom's furniture?
No, because Milo, I treated him like a brother, but on the dojo floor, he didn't treat me like a brother. He punched me just like he punched the other people, you know. So I stayed away from Milo. Everybody else, I dealt with. But Milo, I tried to avoid a little bit. Milo was a beast once he got on that floor.
Interesting. Soki, you want to add anything?
And thank you for the opportunity. I wanted to ask, is there anything that you would like to say to the martial arts now? Knowing what you know then, is there anything that you would like to project onto the art form now?
Is there anything you would do different, Milo, now? Or?
No.
Well, Milo had a great career, man. Milo beat a lot of big name fighters, man. And Milo, to me, was a pioneer out there because he was the first black belt to fight for the KA system, other than Kareem, you know. But the first student black belt that fought for the KA system.
So he made black belt before you?
Yes.
Even though you started before him, actually?
No, Milo started first.
Oh, I thought you were already, because you mentioned, you were doing Goju at that time.
Yes,
Okay.
I went to Harold Schaefer.
Right.
And again, Milo came from the Air Force, boxing champion, and then we had a scuffle about our room, and I kicked him, and he couldn't understand how I could beat him, and he was an older brother. He went, found Kareem, learned karate, because he said he had to learn what I was doing, and he was the first one in the KA system of the family. And then I came because 3 months later, he came back, and he was a different guy. And with kicks in his hands, I couldn't even touch him. And at that point, I said, I got to find out what he did. So he's the one that brought me into the KA system. And then we brought Kevin into the KA system.
Right.
You know, I used to pay his dues, and sometimes when Kevin didn't go to class, he used to run him down and, you know, spank him a little bit and get him to come to class. You ran and got him and told him because you were paying his tuition that he better go to class. This was when he first started training. Yeah.
Okay, guys, I think at this point we're ready to move to the next stage of the presentation.
All right.
We have a little surprise in store for you today.
We wanted to, make sure that we always honor the womb from which we've come, and what we kind of talked about today was a lot of how you are the main and the biggest pioneer, for the Shakyo School of Martial Arts, and making sure that my dad got started, and making sure that Uncle Earle, and making sure that all of you guys pushed all the way through. So we always want to make sure that we honor the head, and you know, it's been a long time coming, but I want to read a small certificate to you, but it's going to be big, man. We want to make sure that we recognize you with your red belt. So we promote you to Grandmaster today.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. So the certificate reads, in the name of God, Grandmaster Kevin Thompson Jr., Shaquille School of Martial Arts, Karate Organization, Incorporated, presents the rank of Dai Shihan, 10th degree black belt.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. To Milo Thompson. The individual named above has fulfilled all requirements in Kevin Thompson's system of American Karate Do and Yamarashi Aikijitsu. By this achievement, Milo Thompson is hereby promoted and formally recognized as 10th degree Grandmaster in this system and has earned the right to teach and represent this system. He shall be respected and honored as any other instructor of this system. From this day forward, he is charged to continue developing spirit, mind, and body to express his inner self through dedicated discipline and consistent training.
Congratulations. Yes, us.
Good to go. And if you can just lay it across the front.
That's great.
Us.
You're a red belt, Milo.
Yes, sir.
That's right. You deserve it, man. All the things that you've done, all the accomplishments that you've made, all the victories you won, you know, you were out there doing work from the very beginning. So,
Trailblazer, man.
and you set an example for all of us, man.
Yep.
You know?
Following it today. We had a tournament
right.
this weekend, you know. Uncle Milo. Bang, bang. They was getting them. Yeah, man.
Put the V on.
Yeah, right.
Yes, sir.
Then get up.
Yep, yep.
Mhm.